Have you ever been in a meeting and wondered if you just said something wrong? Or maybe you aren't sure how to address issues you've been having at work. Or you found it hard to express yourself professionally and clearly. If any of these sounds familiar, you're not alone. These are completely normal concerns, especially if German isn't your first language or if it's your first job in the country. Welcome back to the International Career Service Rhein-Main channel. My name is Laura Villafuerte, and I'm an HR and recruiting expert with 9 years of experience in the field. In today's video, we're focusing on challenges many students and young professionals face. How do I present and conduct myself professionally? And how do I communicate effectively, even if I'm not 100% confident yet? If you haven't seen our video on German corporate culture, I highly recommend starting there. It will help you understand the expectations and workplace dynamics that this video builds on. Now, let's get started. Part 1. Self-presentation in the workplace. Let's start with something really important, but often overlooked. How to introduce yourself professionally. Whether you're joining a new team, writing your first email, or speaking up in a meeting, your self-presentation helps others understand who you are, what you do, and how you contribute. In Germany, people value structured, clear, and humble introductions. You don't need to oversell yourself, but you do need to make your role and purpose obvious. To present yourself clearly, I recommend using the 3-part structure. That means stating your name, your role or function, and your current focus or goal. Here are some examples. Team meeting, first day.
Hi, I'm David, and I just joined the logistics team as a working student. I'll be helping with tracking shipments and preparing monthly reports.
This gives your team clarity and helps them understand how they'll be working with you. Ongoing meeting, recurring check-in.
Quick update from my side. I'm Anna, currently working on the product launch timeline. This week I'm focusing on coordinating with the design team.
Repeating your focus helps people remember what you do. Email to a new colleague.
Dear Ms. Neumann, my name is Arjun and I'm currently supporting the HR department as an intern. I'm reaching out regarding the onboarding checklist for new hires.
Keep it polite, structured, and efficient. But why does this even matter? In many German workplaces, people won't ask a lot of small talk questions to get to know you. Instead, they expect you to introduce yourself clearly and explain your role. If you don't do that, others may not fully understand your function, and that can make collaboration more difficult. Here are a few more tips for self-introductions. First, match your tone to the setting. For team meetings, be friendly but professional. For emails, be polite and structured. For one-to-ones, you can be a bit more casual, but stay respectful. Second, keep it short, but not too short. 1 or 2 clear sentences are usually enough. On the other hand, avoid only saying, "Hi, I'm X," and nothing else. It gives the impression that you're not confident in your role. Third, practice multiple versions. 1 for group meetings, 1 for emails, and 1 for networking or informal chats. Fourth, smile and pause. In person, a small smile and a short pause after your introduction give people time to process what you said and make you appear calm and confident. Try this exercise now and challenge yourself to say it out loud with different examples. If you're not currently working, you can simply fill in the blanks with what you're studying, or imagine you've just started your dream job. Clarity creates trust. When people understand what you do and how you fit into the team, they trust you more, and communication becomes smoother. So take the time to prepare your introductions. Practice different versions, and don't be afraid to repeat yourself when needed. Part 2. Effective communication with colleagues and managers. Communication is usually direct, clear and honest, but always respectful. This doesn't mean people aren't friendly, it simply means they value getting to the point. Here's how you can communicate effectively in a German workplace. Say what you mean while staying polite. For example, instead of saying, "I kind of disagree," try saying, "I have a different view on this because." Don't wait to be asked. If something is unclear or not working, speak up early, instead of waiting until it becomes a bigger issue. And keep it factual. In professional settings, Germans prefer facts and reasoning over emotion. Here are a few more example phrases you can use at work. This brings us again to the topic of giving and receiving feedback. Feedback is a normal part of everyday work. It's not really personal or dramatic. You might receive feedback during meetings, in one-on-ones, or as part of project reviews. Even if it feels blunt at first, remember that the goal is clarity and progress, not personal criticism or blaming. To handle feedback well, keep this in mind. Accept feedback calmly and professionally. Don't apologize too much or get defensive. Just show that you understand and will improve. Saying thank you is also important, since feedback will help you grow. For example, say, "Thanks for pointing that out. I'll keep it in mind for the next time." Be open to feedback, even if it sounds blunt. In most cases, Germans give task-focused and not personal feedback. You can even ask follow-up questions to clarify what was meant. This shows that you care about doing better. For instance, try asking, "Can you give me an example of what you'd like to see instead?" Give feedback with structure and respect. In many teams, you're actually encouraged to give feedback to colleagues, managers, or team leads too. Just keep it constructive and solution-focused. Last, adjust your mindset. Feedback equals support. So instead of thinking, "Oh no, I did something wrong," try thinking, "Great, now I know how to do better." Now try out the structure to improve how you give feedback. First, mention what happened. Then point out what could be improved. Last, explain why it matters. Let's put it into practice with this scenario. You're giving feedback to a teammate who delivered a presentation that lacked structure and went over time. So first mention what happened. "I noticed that your presentation yesterday took a bit longer than planned and deviated from some of the original agenda points." Then point out what could be improved. Maybe next time we could go through a clear structure together or do a short dry run. Last, explain why it matters. That way we can make sure we stay within the time frame and cover all topics efficiently. In German work culture, it's normal and even expected to share your opinion, even if you disagree. Disagreeing is completely fine, as long as you express yourself clearly, calmly, and base it on reasoning rather than emotion. Here's how to disagree professionally. Acknowledge the other view first. For example, "I see your point about focusing on feature A first." Then offer your alternative. For example, "But I suggest starting with feature B since it affects more users and could reduce support tickets." Use polite but direct phrases like, "I have a slightly different perspective. May I offer another angle? From my side, I see it like this." Stick to facts or experience. For this, avoid vague language and support your point with reasoning, data, or past experience. For example, last quarter, 70% of user complaints were about feature B. That's why I think it's urgent. Other useful phrases include, "I understand your point, but I'd like to offer a different angle. I see where this is going, but may I offer an alternative? From my experience, another method could work better in this case." This shows respect and initiative, two qualities that are highly valued in German work culture. Against popular belief, small talk does happen in Germany, but it's usually short and purposeful. You don't need to be overly chatty, but showing interest in your colleagues actually helps build trust. This is a small talk you should totally do. Start meetings with a quick, "How are you?" or "How was your weekend?" And say hi in the morning when you are in the office, even with a simple Guten Morgen. On the other hand, this is the small talk you should totally avoid. Talking too much about your private life in meetings or interrupting the workflow with random chats. In general, you should avoid long-winded personal stories in professional settings. And understand that once a meeting or work session starts, people focus. Let's look at how to approach your manager and ask questions. German managers tend to expect communication with them to be clear and well prepared. So if you have a question or a problem, bring a proposed solution or a specific request. A few ways you can communicate better with your manager are: schedule time if needed. That means you shouldn't just drop by, especially in remote or hybrid settings. Be specific with what you need. Instead of saying, "I don't understand this," try saying, "Can we go over the timeline for the Q3 project, especially the delivery dates?" Show initiative. Managers appreciate it when you try to figure things out first, then ask for clarity. And you can actually request regular check-ins. Try this. Would it be okay to schedule a short alignment meeting every 2 weeks? Good communication isn't only about the words you use. It's also about clarity, respect, and timing, and being aware of the workplace culture around you. In Germany, for example, directness is often a way to be efficient and to build trust. One of the best ways to strengthen your communication skills is to practice them with intention. Part 3. Building confidence in daily interactions. Feeling confident at work doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, consistent effort, and willingness to get out of your comfort zone. Each conversation, each small challenge you take on helps you grow. Here are some extra steps you can take to communicate more easily and present yourself with confidence at work. Start with small steps. Building confidence at work starts with small actions. For instance, try speaking up once in your next meeting. It could be sharing a quick update or asking a question. You might simply say, "I'm currently working on the report and expect to finish it by Friday." Little wins like this add up over time. Prepare ahead. Before meetings, prepare a few notes or keywords to guide you. Think of 2 or 3 points you want to mention, like project update, challenge, or next step. Having notes helps reduce nerves and keeps your message clear. Nonverbal communication. Your body language matters just as much as your words. Sit or stand up straight to show engagement. Use a calm, steady voice to sound confident. Make eye contact when you speak or listen, as it shows respect and interest. You should also try the simple prep exercise for your next call. Look in a mirror or at your camera, smile lightly, take a deep breath, and notice how your posture affects your energy. Shift your mindset from perfection to clarity. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. Focus instead on being clear and constructive. People appreciate honest contributions more than flawless delivery. To take it further, here are more exercises you can weave into your daily work and routine. Set a small goal for yourself this week. For example, ask one thoughtful question at work. Share one update aloud instead of typing it. Offer a new idea or a different perspective in class. Write down intro phrases. Start by noting 2 or 3 introduction phrases you can use in meetings or other situations. Having this ready helps you feel more prepared and confident when approaching someone new. Try a check-in with a peer. Practice a short weekly catch-up with a colleague. It's a simple way to build your presence in the workplace without feeling overwhelmed. Use a voice recording app. Record yourself speaking and listen back. It might feel strange at first, but it helps you hear how you sound and adjust your tone, speed, or clarity as needed. Confidence in the workplace and in life isn't something you either have or don't. It's something you train yourself for. Every time you prepare, speak up, or contribute, you're strengthening your confidence muscle. What situations at work make you feel nervous? Is it presenting, speaking in German, asking questions? Once you know your triggers, you can prepare for them and start turning anxiety into action. Tell us your experiences in the comments. And if you want to keep building your career in Germany, check out our career entry playlist right here.